Hello and welcome back to the WordPress theming tutorial from wptutorial.info. What we're going to do right now is we want to create a functions.php file that will allow us to change the content of those menus. So if you haven't done so already, create a functions.php file within your theme folder and like this, and then you can start by opening a new PHP tag. And what we're going to do now is we want to register the menu locations or the menus to our WordPress, we do this like so. And we're gonna name them as we wish. Our locations, it's probably smart to do something that works according to your naming philosophy. And any additional information you can also give it according to your philosophy. And then however many menus you want to register, you can. Just be aware that they have to go somewhere eventually. So if you register 10 and you don't have 10, it's kind of a waste of time of yours. Okay. And that's it. And this is just one of the many functions that you can add in this functions. Also registering sidebars, changing the length of the text excerpt if you want to post excerpts just to the front page, registering additional functionality like changing the background color, changing the background pictures, registering additional panels to your administrative backend, and all kinds of fancy things can be done here. This is everything we got for now. We will add things later, and once we save this, we can go back into our WordPress administration, and there we see a new point now in the appearance menu called menus, and we can create a new menu here. The menu name, to keep it always the same, can be top menu. And now we have those two positions where we can put them in, and top menu goes into top menu, and we want to save that, and then we want to add another menu, and we're gonna call it secondary, just like the position, and we're gonna put it into secondary. We're gonna save it, and now we want to go into our editor, pick up our main index, go to the secondary menu, and now we're going to change what we had before, the depth, which is a fine thing, but it's going to be a little bit more advanced now with theme location. And since this is our secondary menu, as we already marked it here, secondary navigation, we can now go ahead and call it secondary. Update the file, go into our header, again change the depth into theme location, and the name into top menu, in case we named it like that. update the file. And now, of course, well, we don't really have a lot of things to show. We only have one page, so we're gonna add a few new pages. Okay, so then again, go into our appearance, menus menu, and now in the secondary menu, we just want the downloads, the contacts, and the links, and this order is fine. Then we want to save. In our top menu, we want step 1, 2, 3, and 4. Add to menu. We want the order to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And save that menu. And when we go back to our page, we see that that worked perfectly. We now have those menus exactly here where we want them. The only thing is that we have only activated them for the index file, so if we click here, then it'll be the same menu again. So we have to fix that. And for that, we go into the editor, and we'll go into the page template and go to our WP nav menu, function call. There, change the parameter to theme location, and again, this one was the secondary. And now into our single posts, and again, theme location, and into our secondary. We update the file, and then we can go to step 1 and see our menu still works. Okay, so much for registering and filling a custom menu that might or might not have all the pages that you want. Okay, the next step will be creating a sidebar. Okay, now we want to go ahead and create our sidebar, and for that we want to first take a look at our index. And in the index, we see that we want to have the sidebar here. So the first thing we really want to do is we want to copy that div and paste it into our empty sidebar file. Then we want to go ahead and make some room above it and start out with creating a new PHP tag. We want to go ahead and say give it a comment that clarifies what this is. And of course you will enter your information here. So for the sub package, put in your theme name. And within this div tag, we want to create a new PHP tag, and we want to simply plot this down. And we want to create a dynamic sidebar so that we can, out of WordPress, fill it with widgets that we want. And there we have that part. Well, this is all fun, but we want to have a little bit more. Maybe we want to put out comments and give people the chance to leave comments, so we do this with PHP comments template. And then we want to go ahead and save that and go back into our page.php, and before we call the footer, we want to go ahead and say php get sidebar, save it, and then we want to go ahead and test that out, and when we go to step 1, we see we now have a comment section, and we can say, hey, submit the comment, and then we see one response to step 1, hey. Maybe we say another very interesting, and we see, okay, that looks good, that works. And maybe we want to be one of those users that tries everything to corrupt the layout, and we want to go ahead and just simply enter a very long string and submit it, and we see what happens. So to fix this now, look at the source, and then we see that the whole thing is wrapped in several classes, and of those only 2 interest us, which would be comment and comment body. Now we can go ahead and go back to our theme editor, add the classes comment and comment body, and add word wrap break word. Update the file, go back to our step 1, and now we see it's wrapped. So this is one of the things that we took care of now, and there's another thing that we can do. Since they look very much the same now, we might want to make sure that we say that the class even, which is one of the other classes of the comments, gets a background color of FC0 in this case. Update the file, go back, go to step 1, and we see now that they're in this yellow. So now we want to go into our admin panel, and there we want to go into widgets. Now we see that we don't have any sidebars defined. So this simply means that while we do have this sidebar defined, and the sidebar is being called, we did not register it. So we now have to go to our functions, and then we want to go ahead and register our sidebar in the functions.php, and we do this like so. Say if the function exists to register our sidebar, then we want to go ahead and register our sidebar. We then want to update the file. We want to go to widgets, and surprise, we see it worked. Now we maybe want to add something into our sidebar, like the list of categories, and maybe also a search function. And to have them display, we need to remove them from the inactive list of widgets, and then we can go to our WP tutorial, and we see where they are. And if we now add something into this, and we say, okay, we're looking for step 3, then it'll bring us to step 3. But if we're looking for Tom, then it will not find anything, and it'll not have any particular style to it. It'll call the standard styles, because we have not defined how a search result page is supposed to look. That's it for part 3 of our little tutorial series for wptutorial.info and CreativeCreed.com. My name is Chris, and I hope you learned something.